Should you join a team as a brand new real estate agent? Do you need a team to get you going? We're going to talk about the pros and cons today about joining a team. All right, make sure you watch, like, and subscribe. And I'm going to tell you in the end why I would never, ever join a team. All right, let's get it. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Sasha Chatman here, your real estate tech ninja with Chatman Realty Group and EXP, located here in Fort Worth. And today we're talking about joining a team. Do you need to do this? As a brand new real estate agent, what are the pros and cons with it? Let's just jump right on into it. Okay, so I'm uniquely qualified, I believe, to talk about joining a team. Why? Because I have a team. Chatman Realty Group. I have a couple agents who are on my team. And I will tell you why you should join a team or you shouldn't join a team. And we're going to go over the pros and cons. First, let's talk about the structure of teams and a couple of things you need to look at when you think about joining a team. Okay, so structure. First things first, what kind of team is this? Okay, now I'm with the EXP, so I'm going to jump into this from this perspective. Those are your regular traditional real estate teams in which there is a team leader like myself. Chatman Realty Group is a traditional real estate team. And then within the EXP, we have people who are calling things a team, but they're technically not a team. They're just part of their downline. So in this video, we're talking about the traditional real estate team, in which there's a team leader and there's agents underneath them. Okay. Now, let's talk about the structure. How does that work? You need to understand that from that team perspective. Is it a virtual team? Do they actually have an office? I have a virtual team. I would never have a team that's going to be having an office building because there's just no point, in my opinion, of doing that. I need my agents out there showing houses and doing listing presentations versus being stuck in an office. I know some teams that do that. They make their agents come to the office and stay there and make phone calls and get quote unquote training before they send them out into the rest of the world so they can be a better agent. Basically, they're using those people to set those folks up to make phone calls for the other agents in their lead generation. So to me, it's a really old school way of doing things, and I think it's a little bit slow in the learning process, but I know teams who swear by it who do very well from it. So make sure you understand that. All right. 2, let's talk about you. What is your motive for joining a team? All right, that's a real one. What is your motive, okay? Most people say, I want to get there, I want to learn, I want to do this. I see it in the chat rooms all the time. You should go to a team, learn everything, and then bounce. Don't waste my time like that, is what I say, okay? Do you really want to be on a team, or are you just trying to use that team leader? That's real. That's real. Because I've had that happen to me a couple times when people say, I want to get on a team, and then they ask for my expired presentation, my FISBO presentation, my listing presentation, my buyer presentation, and they show me they got a jacked up attitude. They just want to take my resources and bounce. So if you're truly trying to learn so you can do this one day on your own, have that straight up conversation with that team leader. I talk to my people all the time. Like, if you're just trying to learn from me and you're going to leave one day, then let's go. Let's have this conversation, because I want to be comfortable with that as well, because it costs that team leader a great deal of money to bring you on. All right. So what is your motivation? Is it just to glean, learn, and bounce? Or are you serious about being part of a team environment? If you're not the team environment type of individual, you don't need to do this. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need to do it. Now, what are you going to get with that team? What type of resources or how many leads you're going to get? You need to have a good understanding of that. Are you getting transaction management software? Do they have websites? All those things. So now we've gotten all that stuff together. Let's talk about the pros and the cons. All right. The pros to joining a team is the mentoring. Okay. Getting with a productive agent that can actually produce and sell, who's going to have time. That's key. Time to teach you, time to guide and train you. If that person doesn't have time, that may not be the right team to get on. Right. So mentoring is number 1. Number 2, leads. Let's talk about it. Leads. When you're on your own, you got to go figure that lead thing out on your own. And getting leads, you're either going to spend your time or you're going to spend your money. One or the other. So if they're providing you with a nice flow of leads to help you get started and help you grow, and you're just literally getting spoon-fed with leads, that's a great reason to join a team. Next, we're talking about the processes. Okay. If the team has really good processes, and not all teams have, I'm going to tell you that right now. I coach a lot of different teams who pay me to come in and consult with them. Not everyone has good processes. You can have leads, good Lord, and you can have systems, but if you don't know how to tie that stuff together to a good process, it doesn't mean anything. But teams that have good processes in terms of this is how you do your follow-up, this is how you do your lead generation, and teach you how to do this thing, that's a good place to go. If they don't have that, maybe not, okay? And next, that's about the CRM. Okay. Do they have a good CRM or not? Teams usually have really good CRMs that you're not having to pay for. Usually what you get from your broker is actually just okay. KV Core is actually pretty darn good, but there's other things out there. Like my entire team has Real Geeks. My entire team has it. And my entire team has Bomb within Real Geeks. They can call, text, and video message the whole 9 yards so we can be at the top of the game because I'm a tech head and I want them to use it. The only problem is they don't use it sometimes. It drives me nuts. We don't use it sometimes. So that's another thing. So are you getting the proper resources so you can be successful? That's a big pro. Teams they should also come with a good website, branding recognition, and they should also save you time. All right. Now, let's jump in the cons. Okay. All right. Number one with the cons is, boom, you're not in charge. You're not in charge. You're not the boss. I got in this business so I could be the boss. I did not come into this business to be told what to do by anybody. And when you're on a team, you're not the boss. You're not in charge. You're like an employee. It is what it is. And you got to recognize that and you got to understand that. And I know a lot of agents have a hard time with that. And we tell them what they got to do. They go, I got to do this and I got to do. I'm like, I don't have time for that. You want to be on my team. I need you to do as I say. I need you to do what I need you to do. Right? You got to be able to meet the needs that we're putting out there. It costs me a lot of money as a team leader to pay for the leads and whatnot. And so I have expectations. That's how any boss would be. But agents aren't built that way. Agents want that freedom. And I totally get it. That's why I couldn't do it. Right? Now, that's one con. Two, let's talk about it. Commission. You're not getting your full commission. Let's just call it is what it is. You're going to split your commission with the team leader. So you have a deal. You're going to split that commission with the team leader. And then after they take their cut off the top, then it's going to be a split between you and the broker. And there's still other fees out there. So if you're not okay with that, if you're not comfortable with that, and it's going to be a problem, don't join a team. I can tell you as a team leader, I knew when someone was going to have a problem. When we discussed the money and how it was going to work straight up every single time. And the moment a big deal comes, like, hey, Sasha, we need to talk. No, you need to go. We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about it. Because the moment you get a nice deal, now you want to renegotiate with me. I'm not going to renegotiate that. The contract is what the contract is. So you got to make sure you understand that. And if you're going to have a problem with splitting your commission on a $400,000 deal, okay, that's a problem. Let me say, if you got a problem on a $200,000 deal, you're going to absolutely hate it on a $500,000 deal. And you're going to believe that team leader doesn't deserve that. And that's where people have a huge issue, especially when there's no delineation between leads. I don't give a delineation between leads. I take what I take. I take what I take on every single deal, whether it's my lead, your lead, whatever. And the reason for that is you're still using my systems, you're still using my website, and you're still using my brain and asking me to coach and guide you through this. I shouldn't make any money. But when my team member does not sell any houses for that month, guess what? My cost is still there that I'm paying for. Let me step in again. I'm still paying for stuff when you're not selling homes. So obviously that has to work out for both sides. But I can tell you a lot of agents just wanted to work their way and their way only. And if you're going to have a problem with that commission split, don't join a team, period. Next one is team rules and team meetings. Some people just can't make a meeting. I don't understand it. As a team leader, I have meetings that I have with my team, and we meet every Tuesday. And I can't tell you how many times people skip the meeting. Like, it's not important. But then they want to bug you all the time to come help them when they need it. Like, I don't have other things to do. It just does not work that way. And I will tell you, if you can't devote yourself to the 30-minute meeting that you're going to have with your team leader, then you want to still call them all throughout the day. That's going to play a little different in their head. And I'm telling you from a team leader perspective right now that when I have set aside that time to train the entire team and that person doesn't show up, I ain't trying to take that phone call. We already went over what we're going over, and you missed it. And my day is structured throughout the rest of the day. So that's another reason. So if you don't like being a part of a team, making team meetings, and then getting together as a team to get stuff put together, that is a problem. A lot of times we do team projects when we're going to go out to FISBOs, open houses, things of that nature. And I cannot tell you when people just don't show up. But then they still want to go do the open house. So you want me, my wife, and my kids to put all the signs together, get all that stuff ready for you, put the signs out, and then you just go get the leads? Child, please. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. But people do think it works like that. And that's just not going to work. So that's another thing you got to think about. So you got to see the running thing here. These are reasons why I wouldn't join a team, right? I'm a control freak. I like being in charge. And if you join my team, it's Chatman Realty Group. I'm Chatman. I'm Chatman. And that's the truth of the matter when it's time to join a team. You're splitting your commission with somebody. Somebody else is in charge and they're telling you what to do. Now, there's a benefit to being on that team, but those are some of the cons that people just cannot get past. Also, you got to think about what the team rules are. Okay, so I have team rules, for example. For you to stay on a team, you got to sell so many homes. Okay, so if you're not producing, you're not doing that. And frankly, as a team leader, you're checking up on your agents to make sure they're doing okay, mentally and physically, everything, make sure they're okay. But when they're not selling and you're looking at their leads and you can tell they're not being in the system, they're not making the phone calls, it's time to have a difficult conversation. And so if you're not the one who likes being held accountable, you want to do things at your own click, being on a team is not for you. It's just not for you. And I totally get that. I know agents who can do very well on their own as a solo agent. I know some agents who absolutely need to be on a team, but you got to be part of the right type of team. The last thing I would say about joining a team is this. When we go back to your motivation is this. When you join a team and you know you're really not trying to stay there, try to have that conversation up front with that team leader. Don't be shady and try to get leads from that team leader and then go bounce and be writing contracts based off their leads. That's some really shady stuff that I see agents try to do that in this industry, and you would absolutely get your reputation tarnished and destroyed. The real estate market is very small, and the number of agents who sell is even smaller. You don't want to become a piranha in your own market because people think you're shady. You don't want to do that. So make sure you watch yourself when it comes to things like that. All right? I hope you guys liked this particular video, and I hope it was informative for you in terms of being on a team or not, or being a solo agent. If you just got in this business to create and you want to go at this thing hard, you can do this on your own. You absolutely can. But if you need some help, you got to just join the right team. That your motivation's got to be there, why you want to join a team, as well as the team has to be well structured for you. So make sure you interview properly. All right, guys. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Make sure you like and subscribe. Click the button and leave your comments down below. Peace.